Greetings, Korbanth Saber fans. I am going to show you how to operate the new Luke Episode 6 V3 Saber. So there's been 3 versions, actually 4 if you count the Yuma. You have the V1, which is the hero, the V2, which is the stunt, and the V3, which is kind of like a little mixture of both V1 and V2 together. Look inside the description of this video if you just want to know the actual history of the Luke Saber. And there's the V1, V2, V3, and the V-Yuma, and what they all represent. So anyways, this video is to show you how to work with your installed V3. So when you get your Saber, it comes with a rib section that's cut out and a rib section that's not. So we'll put this over here. You also get a solid pommel cap in case you don't want to use the sound, and you get an emitter cap, as well as a, this is the blade holder. The way that you change out these 2 emitters is you have to hold this section right here, hold it, and then you can turn this like that. And it comes off. You have your blade retention screws right there to hold it in. Then if you want, you can, there's the circuit board. This can then go in there if you just want to display it. You don't really want to do the blade holder, but you can't unscrew it anywhere from here down to here because there's wires in there. So you always have to unscrew it, this part, by holding this button here. If you start to unscrew this, it's going to do the wires. So let's put him back on. And one thing you can do is you can separate this piece from this piece. Let me show you how you do it. In case you want to switch between these 2 rib sections, you can hold it like this, and you can turn it. And you can do this even if the Saber is on. It doesn't hurt it. So you pull this off. Let's just set this down. And then you can twist this portion off. Okay, so there's wires that run from here all the way up into there. So that's why you never want to take it apart here in the middle. You'll cut the wires. So the only place this can be taken apart is here. This whole piece has to stay together because there's wires in there. So let's put him back on. Okay. So that's how you take them apart. So if you want to put them back together, they just go back together like this. And then this can go on here. There we go. Now to get in here, you can take this off back here. This piece is loose. And the reason why it's loose is that when you tighten this all the way up where you want it to go, you can position it to where you want the D-ring to stay, and then you can tighten it more. But this is loose. One guy said, why don't you just glue this onto this? And I said, well, you can, but then you'll never be able to swap this out if this is glued in place. So don't worry. It only stays loose for a moment. So this piece comes out so that you can swap between the 2. This has the sound vents, and this one doesn't. So this is the chassis. You really don't have to pull the chassis out unless you want to change the battery. But let's say that you pull the battery out, the chassis out. Here's the whole piece. There's your rechargeable battery. Make sure you know that underneath this, there's a nub and a flat side. So on the battery, there's a nub and a flat side too. So make sure you always put the nub to the nub. Or plus side should always go forward, negative to the back. There's your on-off switch. I just turned it off.
Welcome, young Skywalker.
Now it's on.
I have been expecting.
So let me show you how this goes in. So these are the buttons right here. These have to be positioned so that they're under the clamp. And so it can only go in one way. You can push this in. Eventually it's going to get to a part where it can turn a little bit, but it stays in alignment. Push it all the way in. Go ahead and put this back on now. Okay, you can align it where you want. If you want the ring to be on the side. Okay, now we have them all put together. Underneath this clamp are two buttons. This button and this button. And then you put the clamp strip in there. Once you got it in, just close this. It stays pretty tight. It might have a little bit of movement. But the topmost area and the bottommost area are the two buttons. So let's see what that does. Now to unignite it, you can turn it off. Hold it down. And then the bottom button changes fonts.
To resist. There's nothing for me here now. I feel the... You were right about one. Perhaps I killed it. How did you feel when I gutted your master?
So you can turn it on. The crystal eventually turns to the color of the blade, and it pulsates, which is really cool. Now you can also twist it to turn it off. So on, and you can twist it for off. When you put the blade in, like I said, use the blade retention screws there. And I can't think of really anything more that you need to know about the Saber. Make sure when you get this, you could test it when you first get it, but I would very much think it would be a good idea to charge the battery overnight, because when we send these out, the battery only has about a 3% charge. So charging the battery overnight before you really do much playing around with it is really, really the best, because I think that these lithium ion batteries have a memory, and if you don't charge them the first night all the way, then they don't hold as much charge for future usage. So let me get you a little bit of brightness down on this so we can see.
Obi-Wan is a great mentor. Sometimes we must...
You have interfered with our...
Chancellor Palpatine. I know there are things...
The fear of loss is a path to the dark side.
There you go. Hope that instructions help you. It's a great looking saber, and especially with it being made in stainless steel. It's so heavy. This thing weighs like almost 3 pounds. And for the first 50 orders, you get this wonderful little metal plaque. So you also get a shirt, and you get a glove, and you get a special vial of sand that comes directly from where they filmed the movie. So cool extra little perks. Battery charger, make sure you charge your battery. Thanks for watching. Take care.
Ho, ho, ho!